have more people joining us. And as you may have just noticed, we will be recording the program because these programs are really popular, and even for those who cannot attend them in person, there are a lot of people who really enjoy listening to our speakers after the program. It's one thing that technology allows us to do, although I hope soon to see you all in person. So my name is Tara Jackson. I'm president of the Arizona Town Hall. If I don't know you, I do see some familiar faces and names. Always wonderful to see you. This program today is part of our Cross-Border Connecting series. We have been doing these virtual programs since the pandemic put on hold our in-person programs that we have been doing annually down in Mexico for several years now. The goal of these programs is to connect the wonderful cultures of Arizona and Mexico, the states not only of Sonora and Mexico, but others as well, so that we can truly strengthen and build a strong binational region that benefits all of us. Thanks to the amazing volunteer group from Arizona Town Hall who puts these programs together, which includes some people you'll be hearing from today: Patrick Welch from Jennings Strauss, Linda Elliott-Nelson, and Marisol Vindiola. We have really had an amazing series of programs, and we'll continue to put these on into next year. I would also like to give a very special thanks to our sponsors of these programs. They include overall the Nelson Family Charitable Fund and the Jennings Strauss Law Firm, and also for this particular program, Forefront Ed, as well as the City of San Luis. We can't do these programs without our sponsors, and they do play such an important role in meeting the mission of making this a stronger binational region. So thank you again to all of our sponsors. One of the folks I mentioned who's been a key part in helping us put these programs together is Patrick Welch, who is with Jennings Strauss, one of our partner and sponsoring organizations. And I would now like to turn it over to Patrick to introduce our program today. Thank you, Patrick.
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to have you join us today. As Tara said, we've really made a concerted effort during the COVID pandemic to make sure that connections still occurring cross-border between Arizona, Sonora, and our other border states, which we think is just really, really important. And we got a terrific program. I can't thank Linda Elliott-Nelson enough for her hard work to get this program together. I mean, she's the impetus behind this program, and I'm really excited to hear what our speakers have to say today on such an important topic of cross-border economic development. Why don't we get right into it? What I'd like to do is take this opportunity to introduce our speakers. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my firm, Jennings Strauss and Salmon, again for their sponsorship of the Town Hall. This is an organization that is so important to our firm. We've been sponsoring the Arizona Town Hall, I believe, going back to its inception, which is quite a long time. And I'm proud to be continuing that tradition of supporting the Town Hall, with my time and effort as well. So our first speaker today is Alejandro Figueroa, who is Yuma County's Economic Development and Intergovernmental Affairs Director. Alejandro, thank you very much for joining us today. We also have Mario Guevara, who is with the Director of the Office of Economic Development. We are extremely excited to have you with us today as well, Mario. Nazzer as well is here with Forefronted. Nazzer, thank you very much for your generous contribution for this program. I know we've been trying to find a program that meets the objectives of Forefronted, and obviously we have it with this one. So thanks so much for your participation today as well. We also have joining us today is Rodolfo Andrade as well. We're very excited to have Rodolfo join us today. He's the creator of Lean MX methodology in the business and academic fields, and is the author of a number of important literary contributions on entrepreneurship in Mexico. And thank you, Rodolfo, for joining us. And finally, We have Timothy Kelley, who's president and CEO of the Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation. We're very proud to have Tim join us today. So thank you very much to our speakers. And we, as I said, could not have put on this program without Linda Elliott-Nelson, who is just such a strategic part of the town hall and has been a big contributor over a very long period of time. So we welcome Linda and thank her for her moderation today. Back to Tara or over to Linda, I'm not sure.
Thank you so much, Patrick. This is Linda Elliott-Nelson, a Vinculacion with Arizona Western College. This program, it will be excellent information about regional collaboration. If you wish to hear the program, we have an excellent interpreter who is with us, Marisa Lopez. And if you click on the interpretation button, you can click on preferring English or preferring Spanish. If you are fine with hearing either language, you don't need to do anything. Bienvenidos todos. Tenemos un intérprete, Marisa López, que va a estar con nosotros. Si prefiere oír la presentación en español, favor de hacer clic en el botón de interpretación que está abajo en la página, en la pantalla, y escoger el botón que dice español o Spanish. I would like to introduce Jenny Torres, who is the co-moderator for this program, Economic Development Manager for the City of San Luis, Arizona. Jenny.
Good morning, everyone. Once we get through the presentations, at the end of the questions and answers, what you could do if you want to participate, you can raise your hand, either the way I'm doing it right now, or you can go into the reactions and raise your hand. If you want to participate, you can also provide comments or questions in the chat. At the end of the presentations, Linda and I will be addressing some of the questions. Thank you so much. With that, first of all, I want to introduce Timothy Kelley, President and CEO of Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation. Tim?
Jenny, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Tim,
Can you give me just a couple minutes?
Sure.
I think I'm in a bad spot. I'll get back to you just a second, okay?
Tara and Linda, while Tim is getting ready, do you want to proceed with Rodolfo while he gets a better connection? Maybe gives him a few more minutes?
We are waiting on Rodolfo. We could go with Alejandro as the first speaker, if you wish.
Yes, Tim, we're going to give you a few minutes for your connection. We're going to go ahead and start the presentations with Alejandro Figueroa, Director of Economic Development and Intergovernmental Affairs with Yuma County. Alejandro?
Jenny, I think, okay,
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go first. Great. Well, thank you everyone for your time today. Thank you to the Arizona Town Hall, to our partners across the border in Mexicali and San Luis, Colorado. I'm very, very fortunate to share the panel with you today, and I'm honored for it as well. I will be sharing my screen. If you give me 5 seconds, I'll do it right away. There we go. I think I'm doing it now. Can I get a thumbs up if you are seeing my presentation? Perfect, great. So I'm very proud. I've been with the county now 6 months. I'm a native of the region. I've been fortunate enough to live and work in almost the 4 places, the 4 communities that we represent today at this panel. The Greater Yuma region is a natural magnet for business. Believe it or not, we are not just the sunniest place in the United States. for not only the heart of $3.4 billion per year in agribusiness industry, but it's actually responsible for supplying the United States with 90% of its winter leafy vegetables. Yuma County includes the cities of San Luis, Somerton, Yuma, the town of Welton, and unincorporated communities like the Foothills, Tacna, and others. We are a 8.5 GDP strong economy. We have more than 3,000 businesses. That's prior to the pandemic. We're hoping that they are still there, or we actually went up. We'll see pretty soon. And I'll just like to share that we are the third largest economy in Arizona after obviously Maricopa and Pima counties. At the county, we seek to improve the economic conditions for our residents through the recruitment of businesses that create the well-paid opportunities. The county believes that it will be prepared to take advantage of these opportunities by developing a skilled, trainable local workforce and developing infrastructure that supports business creation and expansion, and by collaborating with our local, state, and federal stakeholders to ensure regulations support business opportunities. I'd like to share some of the key regional indicators that we have here. Based on the latest census, that it's still very debatable, but we are, and I say that because we were expecting a larger growth, but we are among the few counties that grew in the state of Arizona. We have right now more than 203,000 people that call the Yuma region home. That's not including the migrant farm workers or the winter visitors, I'm sorry, that actually from time to time during the winter season, we go up to 300,000 people in our region. We have access to more than 50 million consumers within a 10-hour truck haul. We are 30% cheaper to do business than our friends in Phoenix and Tucson. And we are ranked #1 for cost of living for metropolitan areas in the state of Arizona. We are the third largest economy in Arizona. We can collaborate with more than 180 manufacturers and suppliers. Our average age is around 30. And that's especially lower nowadays in South County, in the city of Somerton and San Luis. And something that I believe is key to mention is that we possess senior water rights to the Colorado River. By the way, the city of San Luis, and congratulations to Jenny and the team, was ranked #1 in Arizona and #4 in the nation for the fastest growing community with affordable housing. Some of our core industries, we have advanced manufacturing, we have food processing, we got aerospace, logistics, and very recently, we got a huge interest from the renewable energy industry sector to develop solar plants here in our community. And I'm sure that's something that we share with the rest of the region in Mexicali and San Luis and Imperial County. So some of the key regional assets, agriculture produces nearly 3.4 billion products annually, which is 90% again of the supply of winter vegetables, and features. And we're proud to feature the Yuma Center of Excellence for the Desert Agriculture. We also have the Marine Corps Station that functions as the U.S. Marine Corps' premier aviation training facility and represents more than $654 million in economic activity for our region. We have the Yuma Proving Ground that functions as the Army's most versatile weapons testing facility. It represents more than $1 billion, $1.12 billion in economic activity. So we're fortunate to have both MCAS and Yuma Proving Ground in our region as well. They're great to our economy, and we really value their contribution. As far as tourism, and I must say we're really glad the not essential travel from Mexico and Canada is opening up again. We really value and treasure tourism from our neighbors and partners in both Canada and Mexico. The winter months, as I said before, see the Yuma County population grow over 80,000. On the manufacturing, we're trying to diversify the economy. I think we're making great strides at it. The region's manufacturing sector features Fortune 500 companies such as Johnson Controls, Shaw Carpet, Associated Materials, and International Paper, and is expanding into agriculture, food production, and aerospace systems as well. I'm sorry about that. Opportunity zones, we have 8 of them in our region. They represent a variety of investment and development opportunities. And we do have a foreign trade zone. Actually, the entire county is considered a foreign trade zone with currently 4 active sites. So the foreign trade zone, as most of you know, offers duty and tariff elimination or reduction. The state of Arizona offers up to 80% reduction in state real and personal property taxes by operating in a federal qualified foreign trade zone. So that's one of our key assets, especially for this audience, that we can offer to all potential investors who are thinking of locating here because of our geographical location. Again, water, as you know, water is coming up in the news more frequently now than ever, for good reason. It is a very, very precious resource to have, especially in our desert region. But we have in Yuma County, as I said before, we have senior water rights to the Colorado River, which equates to approximately 40% of Arizona's total allocation. That is 38 million gallons of water, with potable municipal water available for industrial usage throughout the region. Now we'll list some of the economic incentives that we have as a region by the different communities and the cities in the town in Yuma County. The city of Yuma has created a performance-based incentive fund designed to encourage new business development, business expansions, and relocations. The fund can provide up to $500 per new hire given to the company in an upfront cash grant award. The city of San Luis offers a great business incubator for a 5-year business support program for companies in both the US and Mexico. If we go to the city of Somerton, they offer electronic and expedited plan reviews with the city council approval and a reduction of permit fees or plan check fees. The town of Walton offers lower permit, impact, and land development fees, and they have no property taxes. We at the county, we have the economic development incentive policy, which lays the foundation for incentives based on improvements to county infrastructure, as well as jobs-based incentives. Additionally, the Yuma County virtual building policy allows developers to pre-design a building that meets general business needs and have the design reviewed and approved by the county, have the review fees deferred until building occupation, and market the property as though an actual building exists on the property. And just briefly going back to the city of San Luis, it's a 20,000 square feet facility with business incubator in the San Luis Industrial Park. The business incubator has 7 suites ranging from 1,400 square feet to 4,200 square feet for both startup and expanding business focused in light industrial activities. The business incubator offers, as I said, a 5-year business support program. And as you know, in business, location is close to everything. And we are fortunate to be at a prime location. I would say we have the best location in the entire state of Arizona. We are on the border of 4 great states and 2 great countries. As you can see on the map, I mean, we can in 8-hour, 10-hour truck haul, we can go as far as Sacramento and cover all the state of Arizona. So we are the gateway to the state of Arizona for our friends in Baja and Sonora, that's for sure. The Greater Yuma region provides, as I said, geographically advantaged benefits of immediate access to both the California and Mexico market. As you know, the state of California economy ranks 8 among all countries in gross domestic product, while Mexico's economy ranks 15. The combined ranking of those two economies would be 5th among all nations. So again, Yuma County provides a perfect vantage point from which to serve these markets while capitalizing on Yuma County's low cost of doing business in reasonable regulatory environment. We have 2 ports, 2 international ports of entry. The first one is the San Luis 1 port of entry. The San Luis 1 port of entry has 8 lanes for private vehicles. And that includes 2 Sentry lanes. Those of you who don't know what a Sentry lane, that's a trusted traveler program where you can get expedited processing through the port of entry because you have embedded and you have passed the background check prior to crossing the border. Right now, as you can see, we were impacted by, as everybody else was impacted with COVID. The traffic through our port of entry dropped. But let me just say this, we only dropped about 30%, 33% on 2020 compared to 2019, while other ports of entry along the Arizona-Mexico Commission dropped more than half. So we're fortunate enough to keep a good chunk of our northbound crossings in that San Luis 1 port of entry. So just to give you some data, in 2019, we had 2.8 million pedestrians, sorry. We had more than 5 million vehicles total. It seems that 2021 is pretty close to meeting those 2019 numbers, pre-pandemic numbers, because this data I have right here is only as of June of 2021. And obviously, we're expecting now, again, with the November 8th date coming, those numbers will again go up drastically. I'm also happy to say that there's a plan for modernization and expansion of the San Luis port of entry, where we're looking into a $300 million investment once the bipartisan infrastructure bill is approved by both the houses and Congress and by President Biden. The port would go from an 8-lane port of entry to a 16-lane, which would double its current capacity. Just so you know, San Luis is currently the fifth port of entry with the highest volumes of crossings nationwide in terms of vehicles and pedestrians. So we're supporters, complete supporters of CBP and what they do, our partners over there. And we're happy that they're getting a brand new, second section or expansion of their current port of entry at San Luis 1. Then we have one of our biggest assets, I would say, as far as economic development goes, our port of entry, the San Luis. It's a commercial port of entry. It's a state-of-the-art facility. I just had the opportunity to tour it a few weeks ago, and it's amazing that we still have a lot of room to spare, a lot of capacity to go. But you know, we're on to a record year in 2021 as far as northbound crossings. We have a capacity of doing 1,500 trucks a day right now, according to Port Director Schwan, and we're up averaging about 300 and 400 trucks a day currently. So we still have a lot of capacity, and we're happy to say that we're on track to have a record year in 2021. 2019, we had 36,000 trucks coming up north. On 2020, we had 41,000. And right now, we're as of June, we were at 27,000. In the last year, we had $1.2 billion in trade coming through that port of entry. So if you think about it, we can process at that port of entry up to 540,000 trucks a year. And something that I really like to share with you is that our wait times are less than 15 minutes on average. And that's including the ADOT facility that is right there along with CBP operations. San Luis 2 allows for overweight trucks carrying frozen and fresh meat with up to 90,000 pounds, which is a little bit more than what other ports allow. We are, according to the port director, we are fully staffed and available to process, again, more than double our current volume. Some of the one of the reasons for the increased truck volume that we've seen in the last 3 years is because of ADOT's flexibility concerning the truck weight in the lane. So thank you to ADOT for their support. Arizona Department of Transportation. And also nearby our port of entry, we have 2 industrial parks, the Magbrino Industrial Park, which is a 240 acres industrial park. And we also have the Southwest Arizona Industrial Park. Both of them have plenty of space still available if you would like to expand and set up operations near the port.
Alejandro, there's 1 more minute.
I'll go fast through this one. So we have 2 airports, and 1 airfield. The Yuma International Airport, it processes about 100,000 passengers a year. We also have the Raleigh Airfield up on your right, on the top right-hand corner of your screen. And then on the bottom, we have the Somerton Airport, which is a private field located on US Highway 95. I cannot finish my presentation without mentioning our partners on higher education and workforce development. We are lucky to have the 3 state universities here in the state of from the state of Arizona in Yuma. We also partner with Arizona Western College. They do a lot for us on workforce development, and we are partnering as well with Yuma Multiversity. The Multiversity Campus, it's an organization that is trying to bridge higher education, industry, and prospective talent. And we're looking forward to see what happens next with the Multiversity. They're looking into what are the next steps, what it's going to actually be, and how it will benefit our region. But please keep ready, stay focused on what happens next with the Multiversity. I also want to say that we have the Arizona Network, Yuma Union High School, and STEADY. All great partners to develop workforce development for us. Quality of life. There's a lot of stuff to do here in Yuma, believe it or not. We've got national historic parks, we have restaurants, we have live music spots, we have golf courses, you name it. We have off-road, we have kayaking. And I also want to say, some of the safest cities in the state of Arizona, San Luis and Somerton. Some CEO testimonials from Insultech, Go & Company, that I'll have to go through by very fast. But we have a very good feedback coming back from our CEOs in the town as to why they chose and why they're thinking of expanding even more in Yuma. And on the horizon, we have the broadband for the greater Yuma region. We have a food incubator and accelerator by AWC. We have the Desert Dunes wastewater reclamation facility expansion by the city of Yuma. We have a lot of renewable energy projects on the pipeline. We have the San Luis One port of entry expansion. We have a spaceport in the works. And again, the Yuma Multiversity is also coming pretty soon. I'd like to thank you again, all of you, for joining us today, Arizona Town Hall and their sponsors, all the communities and the cities for helping me with the data. Appreciate it. And I'm here to help in any way I can for your businesses to expand to our region. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandro. That was a great presentation, providing us, the opportunities that Yuma County, the assets that Yuma County has. So now we're going to go ahead and give an opportunity for Tim Kelley. Tim Kelley, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Perfect. Thank you, Tim.
Jenny, it's good to see you, Jenny. I know Jenny for about 15 years and has done a great job with housing developments in our region, and not only in Arizona, but also in California. So it's good to see everybody that's on the panel today to talk about the very important. And Alex has my presentation. I'll go ahead and forward it. There we go. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next slide really quick. And I'm just going to start off by talking about Imperial County. And, the previous speaker said a lot about Yuma, and there's so many similarities between our 2 counties. And I'll talk about that in a bit, but you know, one of the things he mentioned was the water rights and the availability of water, which is so unique to the southwestern United States. But Imperial County, the map that you see there is similar to Arizona, Yuma especially, right along the border. We're the only county in California that borders another country and another state. It makes us very unique. Majority of the county, what we call the valley, is where the agriculture portion is in the middle, which is also where the majority of the population resides. And industry clusters, very similar to Yuma also, with renewable energy. We're the leader in North America in geothermal and solar. We also have wind power. We have quite a few projects in the biofuels, transportation fuels, and others. So we're really excited about the future in those industry clusters. Go ahead and go to the next slide. And so one of the things about the uniqueness of our region is really misunderstood in other areas. And so one of the things we formed several years ago is Imperial Mexicali Business Alliance. And that was really to deal with you know, a relationship with our partners in Mexico of things that we were working on independently, and we wanted to work on those together. You know, I'll just give you an example with the border infrastructure. We're trying to improve our ports of entry. And what we saw in the past is that we had the U.S. Government working on a port of entry, Mexican government working on their side of the port of entry, and then you had Caltrans, which is a state agency, working on the highways. And these things did not align. They did not align with time. They did not align with infrastructure and a lot of other things. So we're definitely working on that together. We meet every 2 months. We alternate between Mexico and the U.S., and it's really helped to solidify our relationship. Economic development, we work on economic development. One of the assets for Imperial County is our partner in Mexicali with the maquiladora industries, and the supply chain is so important to the economy. And so that's something that we talk on a regular basis, both to help companies in the U.S. expand into Mexico and companies in Mexico to expand into the U.S. So we're doing that on a regular basis, and this relationship has really helped to solidify that opportunity. And then in the environment, many challenges that we do have with the environment, with the air quality and others that we need to work on together. And so some things that have come about because of the Imperial Mexicali Business Alliance is Cali EPA puts monitors into Mexico to monitor the air quality. And so I think that's very unique, and it's something that benefits us on this side of the border. Education, definitely linking the opportunities in Mexico with the U.S. And we have many interns and students that come to the Imperial Valley, and more students from Imperial Valley are going to schools in Mexico. And we've got some great universities in Mexicali, especially CETIS, UABC, and others. And what we're seeing is more people taking advantage of that opportunity because of the proximity and also the cost. So these are things that we work on together. We meet on a regular basis. And I think that one of the things that the outcome of this binational meeting is linking Imperial Valley College and San Diego State University with CETIS and UABC, and looking at how students can go from one school to the other. And by the way, CETIS is the only university outside the United States that's WASC accredited. So that creates a great opportunity for students to take advantage of a binational education program. Okay, next slide, please. So on the bigger picture, let's go back a little bit. There we go. On a bigger picture, San Diego and Imperial County are the only two counties that border the country of Mexico. And we have numerous ports of entry. Otay Mesa, as big as this port in the US-Mexican border. Otay Mesa, Tijuana, and Otay 2, Tecate, and then Imperial County, the downtown port in Calexico East, and also Andrade, which is the only U.S. port that is actually on an Indian reservation. And so this does create easy flow of transportation between the U.S. and Mexico. And so in a bigger region, it's definitely an opportunity that we have to attract companies and retain companies. And what's very unique about this region is how closely related we are. But I think the further you get from the border, the less people recognize the importance. And I'll talk about some of the challenges later, but when you look at some of the challenges that we have in California with the cost of living, et cetera, Imperial County is just the opposite. And Mexicali and Tijuana, Tecate, and others are even less than that. So it kind of creates that opportunity for high tech, low tech, medium tech, brown tech, green tech, you name it. We've got everything in one region. And so, and the proximity between, San Diego, where there could be a headquarters, and the Imperial County, where we could actually do manufacturing, or even into Mexico with the maquiladoras, is less than, in many cases, an hour away. And so, that was mentioned in the previous speaker. The market is just huge in our region, and pretty much you can get within 10 hours about 50 million people. So it's a very, very large region. Okay, next slide, please. So, the things that really make our region unique are things that people don't really know us for. And so I think if we just talk about Imperial County and Yuma, a lot of people make comments about it, how hot it is, but the areas that are fastest growing in the US right now, if you look at Phoenix and you look at Palm Springs area, Las Vegas and others are really similar weather. And so we have to take advantage of that weather. And what we see in many of these areas is that, you can look at Scottsdale, Arizona, or Las Vegas, or even Palm Springs. They used to talk about, how many people had second homes there and how many people left in the summertime. And now they talk about how many people live there year round. And so we're really seeing that transformation. I know that Yuma has quite a few of what we call snowbirds. We have not taken advantage of that opportunity in Imperial County, but it definitely is coming. And so we're ready for it. But the agriculture is also something that's very unique. We're growing crops year round. And, Yuma and Imperial County provide 95% of all the leafy lettuce in the wintertime. And we grow crops throughout the year, double crop, triple crop, in some cases even 4 times a year. One of our biggest commodities that we sell is our hay crops, such as alfalfa, Bermuda grass. We grow year round. And so in other areas where you might get 1 to 2 cuttings per year, we're getting as many as 9 to 12. And so that's very unique. And that also relates to a year-round economy. And so it's an area that year-round we're producing products. We're not affected by snow. We're not affected by freezing. We're not affected by wildfires and some of the other issues that you have in other states. And then year-round tourism. And so there's really something to do every part of the year, whether it's golfing or fishing, hunting, you name it. The top place in Imperial County, Yuma, is probably the Glamis Dunes. And our population doubles on the weekends. We get as many as 150 to 180,000 people on a busy weekend in the wintertime in that area. But what's very unique is our binational, bi-regional, and bicultural community. And I think that that's really important for people to understand. And most people don't understand that live outside this area how connected we are. And it's more like family than it is another country. And that's the way we consider it. And so we do business with people in that manner. Next slide, please.
Tim, there's 3 more minutes.
You got it. So the regional assets, someone mentioned land. We got plenty of land to grow in our region, plenty of water. Imperial County has perfected water rights. We receive 1/5 of the Colorado River and 1/4 of the water that comes to California from the Colorado River. And so that's very unique. Perfected, there's water available. And as industry comes in, we have water that we can set aside for industry. The workforce, we've got high unemployment right now, which is a real challenge, but it also means that we have a ready and willing workforce. We definitely take into account Mexico, and that's a big challenge for us, is because when you look at the statistics of unemployment and workforce availability, then let's say 50,000 people in Imperial County, but just in Mexicali alone, there's 50,000 people that can work in the Imperial County. They're just a mile away. And so that doubles our workforce if we can take that into account. Energy, we've got abundant source of energy and also renewable energy. We have the highest ratio of export of renewable energy in the nation. We consume about 500 to 1,000 megawatts per month. And we export 4 times that amount. And the markets, as I mentioned, within 10 hours of 50 million people. And the infrastructure, we we could say that we, in some ways, we lack infrastructure, but with interstate aid, the Sunrise Power Link and the Southwest Power Link, broadband that goes through our region, we really do have infrastructure that we can take advantage of. Interstate aid is probably one of the most important. The Union Pacific, the busiest rail line in the United States, runs right through our communities. And next slide.
Tim, there's one more minute.
You got it. So these are the challenges. I put this in and thought about putting this opportunities. These are things we do need to work on. The alignment with government. You know, we're dealing with, in the case of California, Arizona, and Baja California, we're dealing with city, state, municipal, and federal governments, and they don't always align. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to work on. But it all starts with communications. This global recognition is something we need to work on because people don't see the opportunities in a border region as we do. Communication, we're working on that. We're working on that today in the regional collaboration by having meetings like this, and capital. And so we lack capital to make improvements in infrastructure. And I think that we're looking at the opportunities that are there today. And next slide. And that's it. So thank you very much. I think you can see from a high end that there's so many great opportunities in our region, but we have to work together because as I travel across the United States and even across Mexico, there's a very lack of awareness of our region and how important the border is to us. But globally, it's even less. And people just do not understand how the United States can work with Mexico the way that we do. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Tim. That was a great presentation. You know, you definitely, under your leadership, you're taking the Imperial County, you know, to a higher level in terms of economic development. Thank you so much for your time today. Now we will go ahead and have Rodolfo Andrade, President of the Mexicali Economic Development Corporation, present. Rodolfo.
Hi, how are you? Yes, hi everybody. I'm Rudy Andrade, you can call me Rudy. We've been working together with Tim and Alejandro and Nazzer and all the and everybody through the Industrial Development Commission here in Mexicali, the Mexicali EDC. I have a very quick presentation just to share a little bit of what we've been doing. And just to let you know, besides being still the president of the Mexicali EDC, which is an honorary position, I just started on a state level. I'm right now the Undersecretary for Economic Development of the state of Baja. So we'll be working a lot more now in a more statewide office. So let me share with you a little bit about what Mexicali is. And a little bit about us. The Mexicali EDC, as any other EDC, we basically oversee what is related to economic development investment, as well as a relationship between both countries and Mexicali, be it that we have a great location sharing with the Imperial Valley and Yuma. What we do, obviously we help companies and their agendas, business seminars, work on the soft landing process, and serve as a government liaison. The Mexicali EDC is 45 years old. It's the oldest economic development corporation in the border. And this is its unique composition, which has part public investment and part private investment, makes it very unique. We do have official representation, but we also have a very focused private alliance with all of its members. So it's a pretty unique organization. We have obviously all the main players regarding economic investment: industrial real estate, accounting, contract manufacturing, construction, logistics, and shelter programs. Mexicali is a city of over 1 million people, and it's the capital of the state of Baja. And through the years, we've been blessed with a lot of investment, not only from the US, but also from other countries. And we've grown to become one of the most important industrial hubs and manufacturing hubs in northern Mexico. And one of the main reasons we have grown is the border we share with our neighbors in Yuma and the Imperial Valley. The Mexicali gives our investors a sense of control. It's a city that, even though it's 1 million people, we feel like a big town, which generates security, which generates other different aspects of quality of life that our investors appreciate. Being in the same weather as everybody, sometimes we talk about that the heat and so on, and as well as you know, some people say, well, how can you live there? Well, you know, it's a natural filter. People have to work here to live here. If people come and migrate to our region, they can't be on the streets in summer, and they do need to have some type of air conditioning, which they have to invest in, so they have to work. So that becomes something pretty unique. Obviously, our location is a strategic location. We have 2 great states which we border, which is California and Arizona, as well as our Mexican next door neighbor, which is Sonora. And as you can see, location-wise, same as Yuma and the Imperial Valley, which we're just in the middle of a certain very important hubs, as is Tucson, Arizona, and Phoenix, and LA, and the San Diego area. We have 3 border crossings in Mexicali. One which is in our Mexicali Valley, which is Algodones, is the nearest one to Yuma, and it's mainly a tourist crossing. A lot of medical tourism goes on in Algodones, in our valley. This is the east crossing, which is the commercial port of entry, and we also have a west crossing, which is the traditional port of entry to Mexicali. Obviously, we are the main entrance for rail between California and Arizona to Mexico. And this is very important because a lot of our industry is heavy industry, and we do use rail for industrial companies and be it as a advantage of our region. Also, airports, we always say that we have several airports in the region: San Diego, Yuma, and obviously Tijuana and Mexicali, which are very nearby. A little bit of seaports, obviously Ensenada, which is an option for the Long Beach port. And right now there's obviously certain plans to grow it. With all this supply chain situation, it's just a logical option for everybody here in our region. Obviously, we have quite a bit of employees in the export industry, over 80,000 employees dedicated to manufacturing. We base in the city, what we try to do is grow in the value chain, not only doing basic assembly, which we do, but it's not the most important economic activity in the industry. We do a lot of manufacturing, a lot of design, and more what we've been experiencing is nearshoring, relocation. We have a very important integration program. We've been growing the last 40 years, and that specific growth has developed companies, regional companies that now are integrated into the value chain of bigger companies. And we're focusing that in that specific area. Not only basic assembly, but more design activities and more local processes that are integrated into worldwide companies that are landing in the city. We software development, 3D modeling, social media, the orange economy, We have over 180 foreign companies in town. Energy, as you well know, is a critical item. Cerro Prieto, our geothermal plant, is important. There's certainly new projects coming in related to sustainable energy, solar and so on. And well, I could go on and on and on, but basically what the message that I would like to convey is that Mexicali as a city and Baja as a state would not be what we are if we didn't have the neighbors that we have. So I think there's great opportunities to grow a lot more, and also as a region participate in a strategic marketing plan for the region. I think it's a great opportunity right now. The world is changing and we're certainly in a key location. I think that region-wise, being no more than an hour away of the three areas, Yuma, Imperial Valley, and Mexicali, gives us great strength. We need to generate a unified marketing pitch that I think that we could do before the year ends or starting next year, where we could take the region as in itself to highlight the 3, 4, 5 industries that we would like to grow and have the opportunity to choose for our region what we want and to elevate the quality of life of our people. That's my presentation.
Thank you, Rodolfo. That was a great presentation. It's really good to hear from our friends in Mexicali, to really understand the Baja region and how it complements to Imperial County, but not just Imperial County, the rest of the communities here in Arizona and Sonora. And with that, I want to introduce Mario Guevara, Executive Director for the Office of Economic Development for San Luis Rio Colorado in Sonora. Mario.
Muy buenos días a todos, muchas gracias. Agradezco infinitamente la oportunidad que nos brindan a San Luis Río Colorado de participar en un foro tan importante como este. Es para nosotros una gran responsabilidad estar aquí, pero también decirles que lo hacemos con toda la intención de seguir aportando de manera importante en conjunto con ustedes al desarrollo de esta gran región, de esta mega región. Un saludo de parte del alcalde Santos González. Me encargó que al momento de participar con ustedes les diera un saludo pues de cada uno a cada uno de ustedes, agradeciéndoles nuevamente esta gran oportunidad que tenemos. Yo quisiera empezar mi participación en este foro comentándoles cómo iniciamos nosotros a trabajar en materia de desarrollo económico a través del organismo que promueve este tema. Nosotros definimos nuestro plan de trabajo basados principalmente en las vocaciones productivas de San Luis Río Colorado. En ese sentido, lo que empezamos a trabajar de manera fuerte fue en desarrollar una estrategia tripartita, es decir, en 3 partes que nos permitiera, por un lado, establecer un proyecto de promoción económica a la par con el proyecto de atracción de las inversiones y desde luego con el proyecto de la retención de inversiones. En ese sentido, lo que hicimos nosotros fue construir una plataforma digital que nos permitiera poder tener toda la información de San Luis Río Colorado en esa plataforma que se llama investingsanluisrc.org, que finalmente es la que estamos promoviendo a nivel internacional para que más gente conozca esta región y que conozca nuestro municipio. A través de la página hemos realizado algunas campañas de promoción que tienen que ver con difundir videos que hemos realizado con la finalidad de que la gente conozca nuestra infraestructura, nuestra ciudad, nuestro punto geográfico en el cual estamos situados y que al final de cuentas pues nos va a llevar a que más gente nos conozca. En estas campañas digitales que hemos realizado, las hemos realizado en diferentes etapas. La primera etapa fue en el año 2020, en lo más álgido de la pandemia, y la realizamos en 2 secciones, es decir, la realizamos primero a nivel México, que incluimos estados como el Estado de México, en Nuevo León, Jalisco, la Ciudad de México y Chihuahua. Posteriormente hicimos el mismo sentido de la campaña, pero lo hicimos en Estados Unidos, que incluimos ciudades cercanas a la frontera, a una distancia de 350 millas de aquí de San Luis Río Colorado. Y estamos hablando de pues, lo que es Phoenix, lo que es San Diego, lo que es Los Ángeles, lo que es Las Vegas, Tucson. Y la verdad es que en esta primera etapa de esta campaña digital de promoción de San Luis Río Colorado, tuvimos muy buenos resultados. Y eso nos permitió, en base a esa experiencia, planear la segunda etapa de la campaña, que ya fue en este año. Que ya en este año lo que incluimos fuimos un poco más ambiciosos en el sentido de poder abarcar más países, y lo hicimos nuevamente en México, repetimos y ampliamos lo que es en Estados Unidos, pero nos fuimos a promocionar fuerte a San Luis Río Colorado en Asia. Y la verdad, las cosas que también nos fue muy bien, tuvimos muy buenos resultados, muy buenos contactos. Hemos recibido muchas peticiones y solicitudes de información de nuestra ciudad, y desde luego hemos establecido contacto con empresas interesadas en conocer la región de manera personal, y estamos trabajando en eso. Entonces, lo que siguió de ahí es planear en conjunto con los consulados de nuestro país, principalmente en Estados Unidos, una agenda de visitas a las diferentes ciudades, principalmente con lo que es California y Arizona, con la finalidad de que a través de nuestros consulados podamos realizar visitas de negocios con empresarios o empresas dispuestas a conocer la región, con la posibilidad de que puedan venir a invertir. Y la verdad que ha tenido muy buen resultado ese contacto que hemos tenido con nuestros representantes consulares. Pronto sentimos que si no es a principios del año que entra, en 2022, más o menos estaría en el primer trimestre, cuando ya estaríamos trabajando de manera fuerte en Estados Unidos, promocionando a través de nuestros consulados. Y luego hemos establecido también contacto con el consulado de China en Tijuana, con la misma finalidad de presentar a San Luis Río Colorado, de que conozcan nuestra ciudad, hacerles una invitación oficial para que conozcan el cónsul y sus colaboradores este punto geográfico de Sonora, y desde luego que conozca el resto de lo que es la megaregión. Porque creemos que si trabajamos en conjunto, el impacto va a ser mucho mayor. Y luego, en esta parte de ahí yo quisiera mencionarles también de que en materia de la industria o lo que es manufactura de exportación, nosotros tenemos aquí industrias que tienen que ver con el área, lo que es automotriz, es electrónica, es metalmecánica, es producción de muebles o mueblera, es embalaje, lo que es todo lo que tiene que ver con los empaques, procesos alimenticios, lo que tiene que ver con alimentos. En textil tenemos una participación importante, y lo que tiene que ver en agroindustria, que también es algo que nos ha fortalecido muchísimo aquí en nuestra ciudad. San Luis Río Colorado en materia de agroindustria tiene lo que es todo lo que es hortaliza de exportación, muchos de los puntos tienen que ver con países de Asia. San Luis Río Colorado también, al igual que nuestros compañeros y vecinos de allí en Mexicali, se ha caracterizado por tener una gran producción de dátil que se conoce a nivel mundial y que ha sido un punto de interés de inversionistas, no nada más de otras partes del mundo, sino también mexicanos interesados en venir a San Luis a establecerse para contribuir pues al tema de la producción de dátil. Les voy a hacer una presentación mínima o pequeña de lo que tiene que ver en materia de industria, lo que hemos manejado nosotros principalmente, ¿no?, para lograr atraer a inversionistas a San Luis Río Colorado. Entonces, por ejemplo, vamos a mencionar lo que son los incentivos. Nosotros promocionamos mucho los incentivos a las empresas que generan inversión y que sobre todo mantengan empleos permanentes en el municipio. También mencionamos muchísimo, y lo ponemos siempre de manera muy importante, a las empresas que contratan adultos mayores, a personas todavía que son productivas, pero que tienen una edad avanzada, pero que tienen discapacidad, a profesionales técnicos y técnicos también egresados de las escuelas técnicas locales. Mencionamos también que uno de los puntos importantes, sobre todo aquellas industrias que tienen como su materia primordial el agua potable, les ofrecemos derecho de conexión a cabeceras al sistema de agua potable, con algunos incentivos atendiendo a la cantidad de empleos a generar y el tiempo en el cual generaría esos empleos. Y desde luego también estamos manejando descuentos por pronto pago. Eso al final le representa un ahorro a cualquier empresa, sobre todo las más grandes, porque tiene la posibilidad de ahorrarse una cantidad importante de recursos en materia de agua si hacen los pagos de manera anticipada. Y luego aquí estamos también mencionando que tenemos descuentos en las contribuciones que tienen que ver con la generación y retención de empleos directos en el municipio, y también a los contribuyentes que tienen más de 10 años de operaciones productivas. Esto con la finalidad de incentivar a esas empresas que tienen ya muchísimos años aquí con nosotros a que permanezcan aquí, pero que también piensen en seguir creciendo para poder acceder a estos beneficios. También tenemos descuentos y ajustes para usuarios comerciales industriales, que es en el sentido de apoyarles también en su facturación mensual, que podamos de alguna manera incentivarlos con ajustes en los costos del consumo del agua potable para efectos de poder ayudar también de manera financiera. Y estamos también hablando de que aquellas empresas que realizan un proyecto de inversión de infraestructura productiva para uso industrial también tienen un descuento en materia de traslados de dominio, de permisos de construcción, de permisos de impacto ambiental, de permisos que tienen que ver con el traslado de dominio. Y luego estamos hablando también que los comercios o las industrias que tengan instalado en sus plantas o en sus negocios los sistemas de tratamiento de aguas residuales también tienen incentivos muy importantes, porque para nosotros también es importante que contribuyamos a la cultura del cuidado del agua, y esa de alguna forma viene también a ayudarnos a nosotros como municipio para poder obtener de la federación mayores incentivos para obtener mejores o ampliación más bien de los derechos de explotación de derechos de agua.
Mario, perdón, 3 minutos más.
Aquí tenemos el cuestión del salario industrial, en promedio se maneja en los 28 pesos con 75 centavos, y tenemos, si lo convertimos en dólar, sería a 1.49 en promedio. Y acá en la mano de obra tenemos una fuerza laboral alrededor de 90,000 trabajadores, que son los que vendrían a aportar el desarrollo aquí de las empresas. Finalmente tenemos la cuestión de la conectividad, muy similar a la que presentaron nuestros compañeros. Tenemos la cercanía pues, con algunas ciudades que son, que ustedes las pueden ver aquí en el mapita, de Phoenix son Yuma, Los Ángeles, San Diego, y del lado mexicano, pues lo que es Tijuana, Mexicali, Nogales y Hermosillo. Básicamente, en términos generales, es lo que le podemos aportar, independientemente de que podamos en la plática ampliar un poco más de información. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes.
Gracias, Mario, por tu presentación y por darnos las oportunidades que ofrece San Luis Río Colorado. We will now have Nazzer Mendez, Executive Director for the Forefronted ED organization. Nazzer?
Thank you so much, Jenny. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm very glad to participate during this virtual panel. It is an honor to be part of this group of panelists. I would like to start describing what we're doing in Forefront ED. I will share the screen. All right, let me go back. There you go. So I serve as the Executive Director of Forefront ED since April of 2019. And first, I would like to start describing what Forefront ED stands for. For means 4 states, Arizona, California, Baja California, and Sonora. Front means frontera, border in Spanish. ED, it's economic development / education. And you will see through this conversation that we also are focusing on other areas. Forefront ED was created back in 2014 by a group of mayors, Yuma County supervisors, and leaders from the US and Mexico region. These are the members of the governing group that includes Douglas Nichols, the mayor of Yuma. He's also the chairman of Forefront ED, Martin Porches, Yuma County supervisor, Gerardo Sanchez, mayor of San Luis, Cecilia McCollum, mayor of the town of Welton, Gerardo Anaya, mayor of Somerton, and the governing group also includes the administrators and managers of Yuma County, the city of Yuma, the city of Somerton, the city of San Luis, and the town of Welton. we have 4 pillars or focus areas, like I mentioned before. The first one is economic development, and then infrastructure, tourism, and education.
I'm so sorry, Nazzer, to interrupt for a second, but I don't think that we're seeing the slides move forward.
All right. What about that?
I'm unfortunately just seeing the thumbnails in the original slide.
Okay, let me see what is going on. I will share it again. Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that working now?
I am only seeing the layout of the PowerPoint, not the actual slides still.
Okay, let me see.
You might have to put it in presentation mode. Or use the arrows to go down.
Okay, let me see.
And while you're arranging that, if you had an interpretation put in the English mode and you didn't turn it off, that might be why you're not hearing anything, if you're having any problems hearing Nazzer. So just go to interpretation and turn translation off.
All right, let me see. Can you see the slides now?
I think that it might be opening it up in a separate window, Nazzer, and that is why it is only showing me the back end of it. Would you like me to share the slides that you sent me?
Yes, please.
Okay,
That would be great. I appreciate that.
here we go.
All right. So I was talking about the governing group. I described what the members are, and they guide us through this binational effort. Next slide, please. So I was mentioning that we are focusing in 4 pillars: economic development, infrastructure, tourism, and education. Next one, please. Here it is what the 440 binational looks like in a map. Yuma County, that includes the city of Yuma, the town of Welton, the city of Somerton, San Luis, and also the Cocopah and Quishan tribes. Those communities are part of the Arizona component of portion. San Luis Rio Colorado in Sonora, Mexicali in Baja California, and Calexico and El Centro in California. So those are the 4 states located in 2 nations working together for economic development and other areas. Next slide, please. We are a powerful region with 1.65 million of people. This population is similar than the city of Phoenix. It is more than the one is located in San Antonio and Dallas, Texas, San Diego in California, and is half of the population of Baja California in Mexico. You can see the breakdown numbers on your right-hand side. You can see that those numbers are the most current ones. Next one, please. If we talk about economic strength, we are 95 billion of GDP, 95 billion with B de bueno, bonito, y barato. Those amounts are described on your right-hand side, and it is important to clarify that the GDP in Mexico is measured in a different way than the US. You can see the numbers of Yuma County, Imperial County there, but also we are considering the GDP of the state of Sonora and Baja California for obvious reasons. So those numbers combined are equal to $95 billion. We are part of the 5th economy worldwide. Well, Alejandro Figueroa mentioned this during his presentation, and that means that we are exactly in that location that is part of this economy with 4.2 trillion US dollars. That amount is equivalent to the economy of Germany, Italy, France, and UK. And you cannot see probably the bottom part, but we are we have access to 50 million people of consumers, because of that privileged location that we have. Next one, please. If we talk about infrastructure of the binational mega region that we are describing, you will see there that we have 5 ports of entries: San Luis 1, San Luis 2, Algodones, Andrade, Calexico East, and Calexico, or Mexicali East, Mexicali West. So, and we also are connected through highways, railroads, and other important factors. Next slide, please. This is basically a summary what the other colleagues mentioned during their presentations. So we have 2 international airports in our binational mega region located in Yuma, Arizona, and Mexicali, Arizona. Those airports are for tourism and for cargo as well. Next one, please. We have 48 industrial parks. Next one. We have 28 universities and 2 colleges in our binational mega region. Next one, please. The Yuma region is considered the lettuce capital of the world. 90% of leafy vegetables grown in the US between November and March are grown in our Yuma area, Yuma region. For example, just to give you an idea what was the importance of this production, we have 9 salad plants located in the Yuma region. Each of those plants produce 2 million pounds of lettuce each. I mentioned that and I highlighted because it's a big amount. That is according to Visit Yuma. Next one, please. San Luis Rio Colorado, as Mario mentioned, is the date capital of Mexico. 70% of the date production in Mexico comes from that particular municipality. Next one, please. Mexicali is also known as the aerospace capital of Mexico. This industry has been established in Mexicali for more than 50 years, according to Mexicali EDC. They have 97 companies related to that particular industry in Baja California. Next one, please. The Imperial County is about to become the renewable energy capital of the world. They produce geothermal, wind, solar, among other clean energies, as mentioned by Tim Kelley a few minutes before. Next one, please. I mentioned earlier that we have a privileged location. We live in a privileged location. You can see there a summary of what we're talking about. The Yuma region, lettuce capital of the world during winter season. San Luis Rio Colorado, date capital in Mexico. Mexicali, aerospace capital in Mexico. And Imperial Valley will become the clean energy capital of the world. It's also important to highlight that we are neighboring another important economic areas, such as Valle de Guadalupe, which is the wine capital of Mexico. They produce 70% of Mexico's wine. Also, Caborca, Sonora, they are the asparagus capital of Mexico. They produce 36% of that particular vegetable. And we have access to the Gulf of California. That means opportunities for businesses, for tourism, for family outdoors activities, among others. And we also are close to Ensenada Seaport and the San Diego Seaport, which means opportunities, connectivity, trade, tourism, among others. Next one, please. I would like to provide a very quick tour by the 440 binational mega region. Next one, please. That includes Yuma. Next one. Welton. Next one, please. Somerton. Next one. San Luis, Arizona. Next one, please. Imperial County, that includes, next one. Calexico. Next one. El Centro. Next one. San Luis Rio Colorado with the access to the Gulf of California. Next one, please. Mexicali, the only capital of Mexico located in the border region. Next one, please. I would like to cordially invite you all for the event that we are organizing, tourism in the binational, the 440 binational mega region that is taking place on November 18. We have an excellent panel of people expert on tourism. Please visit our social media platform. Starting today, we will post those flyers in English and Spanish, and this will be also an amazing event, all for you. Next one, please. If you have any questions, you would like to learn more about 440D or be included in our contact list, please email me. That is my contact information. Next one, please. Thank you so much. With that, I conclude my presentation. I appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Nazzer, and thanks to our 5 wonderful speakers today that share this. If our audience has any questions, please feel free to put something in chat and we can get some feedback from our speakers. In the meantime, this is to any of our panelists. How can we promote US-Mexico collaboration? Who would like to respond to that?
I can jump in if you don't mind, Linda. I think one of the main opportunities we have as a region is to go out to, go out to our the national capitals of Washington, D.C. and Mexico City, and maybe do trade missions as a group over there and talk to legislators and decision makers so that more resources and more focus is placed on our region.
Thank you, Alejandro. Yes.
I think that what we need to do as well is we need to generate the markets in each of the regions very clearly to generate what type of business we can do now. So what do we have right now and how can we generate either market opportunities for Yuma, San Luis, and Imperial Valley in Mexicali and the other way around. That's a good start because we don't know. So that's something that's important. So mapping out what we have, what industrial capacity, what commercial capacity, what capacities we have, and how we could do this exchange. And not only products, but also design, other non-physical items, technology, information technology, and other type of possibilities. How we go forward to map it out, that's important, and it's not as hard as we think. Maybe we already have a lot of the information, but we have to look at it as a market opportunity because the economy moves as the market goes. So I think, and try to focus in 1 or 2 items we could complement each other with and generate a promotion strategy.
Thank you so much, Rodolfo. Another question, how does border crossing infrastructure impact economic development in this region, in this binational region?
I'll jump in again. So they're great economic engines, economic development engines, and sometimes we don't pay attention to that. I know there's a lot of talks about immigration and Title 19 and Title 42, but at the end of the day, they are great economic development engines. We have tourism coming through our ports, we have commerce, and we need to focus on making that legal flow of people and trade as easy as possible.
Thank you. One more question. Can any of our panelists share a binational success story on what has benefited our region through working as a regional collaboration?
I would like to mention that from the effort by itself, this binational program has been successful because a lot of entities, agencies work together to promote us as an economic bloc. So that's what I think that 440D itself represents a good best binational practice because also includes authorities, leaders, the public and private sector, just to mention a few of them.
Thank you, Nazzer, and thank you again to our panelists. I will return the program to Arizona Town Hall President and CEO Tara Jackson.
Well, first of all, thanks again so much for all of our speakers. There was such a wealth of information in your presentations. And there was a question in the chat. And so I'll say for all of you that we will have the recording of this program as well as the PowerPoints on our website. In addition to that, Linda Elliott-Nelson, who did so much to put this program on, will also be preparing a summary of the presentations. And I believe Nazzer will be helping to translate that to Spanish so that whoever could not be here will have the opportunity also to take advantage of the presentations that were provided. Just listening myself to these presentations, it's such a reminder of how important it is not only for our region to work together for the economy just within the region, but how important it is for our region to strengthen those ties and become really an economic powerhouse in the world. And I am always struck by sometimes the misunderstanding and the lack of knowledge of just how amazing this region is. So what I would like to also do is at this time, again, thank our sponsors because they all represent people who are supporting this effort because they recognize how important it is for more people to understand that we need to have strong connections, not only economically, but culturally and through all of our leaders with Arizona, Mexico, the United States, and Mexico as well. So again, the Nelson Family Charitable Fund, the Jennings Strauss Law Firm, Forefront Ed, and of course the City of San Luis. And to all of you who attended, I hope you enjoyed this program and got a lot out of it. And we welcome you and invite you to continue to participate in subsequent programs. We are hoping again to get back in person for a community town hall down in Mexico, perhaps in the coming year. In the meantime, we hope you'll continue to join us. And thanks again to all of you.